Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are finally, not just me, but me and my aunt and I, we're going to be cleaning up the ricefish ponds, and you can see this one is already nice and clean. Look at that crystal clear water. There aren't any fish in there. We moved them all into those two ponds, and today we're going to be cleaning those up, as well as this one right here, I think. So yeah, let's get started. I'm not so sure where to begin. My aunt is in charge of this, and I just kind of follow along and help her out with the heavy lifting stuff. But we got a few of these ceramic pots because some of our lilies, they're just overgrowing. This one, take a look at this. This is a beautiful lily. It's got yellow flowers and it's just overgrown. If I pull that thing out, you'll see the roots are just hanging down and it needs to get split. And we're going to share it with some people. My aunt wants to give some of it to her friend, and I want some of it as well. So that's actually the lily that was in that pond. And yeah, we're going to kind of clean it up, make it look nice, and repot some of them into here. And we've also got some soil. This is soil from the paddy fields. I'm not so sure, but lilies need a specific type of soil. Well, I'm not sure. I think they can be in any type of soil, but it's like paddy field soil. Rice paddy soil. I'm not so sure what it's called. Alright, so we're splitting it now. You can see my aunt is just cutting it. We spoke to kind of an expert about this. They just said use a knife, cut it up, and yeah, it'll be alright. These lilies are really hardy, so you don't have to really worry about them. We need to get some nets, so I'm gonna go ahead and prepare some of these nets so that all the soil just doesn't drop out from the bottom. So I'm gonna get that done right now. I'll be right back. Alright, so I brought out some fertilizer. Here we've got the little things that I cut out. Okay, I gotta cut this out too. She's scolding me. Let me cut that thing open. Yeah, so this thing basically goes in there to cover up the hole so that all the soil doesn't just fall out. So that's what we're basically doing. So I'm gonna be lucky, get one of her little yellow flowering lilies, and she's also going to give one of them to her friend as a little present. It's dirty work, but it's also fun at the same time. So my aunt just stuck that whole pot inside. I'm not so sure if you can see it, but it's definitely clouded the water up. We'll probably do a small little water change, and then yeah, that'll be it. Then we'll do those ones. We're catching out the rice fish now. And we're going to transfer some of them, or all of them, into a different area. Alright, this one is all emptied out. All the rice fish that were in here are either in this pond or in this little kind of container cup, just for the moment. So we're gonna clean this one out, and I don't know if I can lift this with one hand, but let's do it with two hands. Okay, so you can see kind of how dirty it is. Okay, well, we're going to do it around here. So yeah, you can see there's some of this substrate. This is baked clay, so it's like ceramic kind of. Yeah, we used to use akadama soil, but akadama soil breaks down really easily and gets kind of dirty over time. So we found this at a rice fish store. They were selling these, and it looks very similar to akadama soil, except it's hard and it doesn't break down. And it also is kind of like filter media. It'll hold bacteria, so kind of nice to have that instead. So now we're gonna brush this up, clean it up, and then, yeah, very, very simple stuff. And look at that, this one is all cleaned up. We filled it with water. Now we gotta clean that lily this right here that we pulled out from it. It's kind of dirty here right now from all the work we've been doing, but you can see this completely just covered in algae. There's some, I think this is like pearlweed growing on it, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, there should be lilies in here, and we're gonna kind of clean this up right now. So here you can kind of see this is what the pot looks like. It just sits in that little rice fish pot over there. So we're going to pull this out right there. Oh, look at that. Take a look at that. Do you guys see that? We're on to the final little rice fish pot. I've just been taking out all the fish from here, and we transferred them into this smaller one. I'm not so sure how well you can see, but right there's a bunch of them swimming in the green water. We're cleaning out their home now, so yeah, let's do this. Just one more to go. Now, the final lily pad, this one right here. This one was the one that was in this pond. So we're gonna clean this one up now. メダカ初めて買うときって誰のアイデアだった？
もらったんだよ。
あ、もらったの？
その金魚鉢とともにガラスの15年くらい前。
こういう鉢はどこで買ったの？
あそこじゃん。
常滑？
セラモール。
セラモール。So if you guys think I'm not doing much, I am doing some heavy lifting here. And take a look at that. The two mini ponds that we've got here on the deck, the wooden deck, is so much cleaner if you compare it to earlier. You can just see how clean it is. We've also cleaned up the lilies that are in the ceramic pots, so yeah, they're looking good. And tomorrow they will be ready for fish, as well as our largest mini pond right here. I'm not so sure what size this is, but it looks like it's about 18 inches tall or 45 centimeters, something like that. You can also see it's not completely level, so I'm gonna fix that up later. The water is slightly higher on this side, so I'm gonna fix that up. But the water is also kind of cloudy, but it should clear up by tomorrow. And if you look closely at the lilies, they are already starting to pop out, so it's gonna be super exciting to see them flower up in the next few months. It's gonna be so nice. These are my favorite lilies. They're yellow in color, the flowers. And then the other ones that we've got over here, I think these ones are white colored flowers, or pinkish, yeah. Pink and white, I think, a mixture of those two. So when they flower up, I'll definitely be taking pictures, posting them on my Instagram. All the rice fish right now are in this little ceramic bowl. There's a whole ton of them in here, if you can see. Yeah, there's just a ton of them in there. So tomorrow we're going to start slowly adding them into the mini ponds. I will see you guys in just one moment. Alright, and just like that, it's the next day. It is raining today, but you can see the pond has cleared up. I'm gonna let my aunt do this work. So she's gonna separate them, grab out some of the rice fish and put them into their ponds. But yeah, there's already some in here. We've put the lid on for now because today it is actually pretty cold still. But in here you can see, I don't know if you can see, but yeah, there are some rice fish in there right now. But yeah, look at that green water, super nice, but you can't see any of the rice fish. And just like that, the rice fish are now in their little mini ponds. They look so good in there. Can you guys see that? Like, take a look at how many there are swimming in this one. I'm not sure how my aunt divided them, how she separated them, but there are some in here too. It's really hard to see, but I think there's one down at the bottom right there. You can see swimming around. Kind of hard to focus on that. But there's just so many more in here, and I can't wait for the warmer weather to come this summer. These rice fish are just going to reproduce like crazy. Today we're going to put this lid on, this acrylic lid, because it is still kind of cold, and we want to make sure the rice fish are okay. They can handle the cold, no problem. But it's the water lilies. The lilies are a little bit more sensitive. You can see they are growing. They are starting to send new shoots. This one is a little bit slower, but it is going to definitely grow this year. And yeah, today's just a really cold day. Today's temperature gets down as low as 5 degrees Celsius, which I think is around 40 degrees Fahrenheit if I'm not mistaken. But we get much colder winters than we get much colder days than that during the winter, and it even snows, and we just leave the rice fish out here. They can handle anything, but we just want to make sure that the lilies inside are fine because we want them to bloom this year. But as always, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.